washing soap. With me here, I have my buckets, I have my detergent chemicals, and I have my source of water. Now, if this is your first time making soap of any type using raw chemicals, kindly wear your gloves. For me, I'm a seasoned soaper, so I'm okay with that. And we are going to use our weighing scale. There we go. So the first thing we pre-soak is normally caustic, because caustic takes time to cool down. So we are going to put, I prefer putting water first from my jug. So we are using 100 grams of caustic, and it requires 1 liter to pre-soak it. Okay, something like that. I'm gonna tear this. And then now we are going to measure our caustic. If you're not very good with measuring, please pre-measure in advance. There we go. My scale is fluctuating because of the winds. Well, that should be 100. So immediately we put that, we are going to stir it so it doesn't cake. Make sure you're not breathing the fumes. This is caustic, it's highly corrosive. Also make sure it doesn't touch your hands, and if it does, do not wash it off with water, you wash it off with oil. That is the thing that neutralizes caustic. If you wash it with water, you're going to activate the chemical reaction and your skin is going to burn really bad. So in case you have an accident, wash it with oil. So that's our caustic solution. This is going to be very hot. Just rinsing off the iron stick, and then we are going to put it here. That is the most dangerous detergent we are handling today. So if you can handle that well, you've got yourself prospects. Then it's important you write them down. Even I, as I've used to soap so many times, I still have to write it down so I don't get anything wrong. The next thing we are measuring, I'm gonna have to do 5 liters of water. We are measuring SLS powder. SLS is sodium laureth phosphate. Again, please do not breathe the fumes. In fact, if you're new to soaping, don't do this outside where there's a lot of wind, because you'll end up breathing it. So we're gonna do 350 grams. Again, don't breathe it. So there goes our SLS. jug is 2 liters. We need 5 liters. SLS normally cakes, so immediately you pour it, you add water and you start stirring. If you don't stir, it's going to cake. It's going to start forming some solids. And then we rinse off our wooden spoon. So this is done. That is number 2. The third thing we are measuring is called the STPP. I think this should be 300. Yeah, this is exactly what we need. And then we are going to add it to 2 liters of water. So this jug is 2 liters of water exactly. Again, when you add them, and make sure you stir. This one also tends to cake if you don't stir it. This is what it looks like. You just make sure you stir it very, very well. If you don't, it's going to solidify and become a rock. The last ingredient is soda ash. So we need 300 grams of soda ash. Soda ash is also called ash light. See, this is 300. This is already 300. And this one needs 2 liters of water as well. And this is how it looks. Don't worry, I'll give you the whole recipe towards the end. Towards the end of the video. So don't worry about it. Now, like I said, let us arrange them in the first one. Like that. Why do we need to pre-soak, you might ask? It's because some of these chemicals, they're not really pure. So they will have sediments, and those sediments will have to settle down and leave the dirt. You will see that once you start mixing the soap. So as you wait for that to settle, ideally you should do this 7 hours in advance. Ideally, minimum 1 hour. We won't wait that long because I'm a soaper, so I understand what needs to happen at what stage. Caustic is normally hot when you mix it with water, and that has to be cold before you mix anything else. You can use ice cubes to hasten the process, but ideally this 4 should stay like that for 7 hours. So as we wait for our caustic to cool down, let us start on the dishwash. So we are going to premix our caustic again. I'm gonna premix it here. This time you don't need a lot of water. We are making 5 liters of dishwashing liquid. 5 liters. In fact, because of that, I need to measure the water in advance. So I told you this jug is 2 liters. So that is 4 liters. The bigger half. I've taken that for the caustic. No way. So with once you get used to soaping, you realize you don't even need to measure the water. As long as you have a slight idea how much you need, no need to pre-measure it. The end result will always tell you whether you're doing the right thing or not. So you don't put water into caustic. You pour caustic into the water. It's very important you understand that. So we needed around 270 or 300, just enough to dissolve the caustic. And we need only 40 grams of caustic. Remember, this is dishwashing, so you will have to interact with it a lot. You don't want to have too much caustic. Just 40 grams in 5 liters of dishwashing liquid. Again, if you're not confident with the scale, please pre-measure in advance and then just pour. Do not inhale caustic. Do not touch caustic. If caustic pours on your hands, do not wash with water. You're going to activate the chemical reaction on your hands. So you're really going to burn. If you happen to touch caustic accidentally, please use oil. Wipe yourself with oil. It will become soap. That is for caustic, and it's the most dangerous chemical compound we're using in this soaping. So don't worry about my containers. I put it this way. So our caustic solution. Just need to stir it. I'll add a little water just to hasten the cooling down. But if you have the time, off with 300 ml, it's good. Now, if again this is your first time soaping, please label. I know what is in each of these containers because I've done it several times, and I can see how they look. but for you, please kindly label them. And always rinse off your wooden sticks before starting the next. So that's our first stick done. This is where I want to put our dishwashing. The final product will be here. So this is where you want to do your mixing, except for the caustic. If you're handling these chemicals, my dear, kindly avoid touching water, because if a little caustic touches your skin and then you touch water, you'll start burning. Okay, so what are we doing next? Now, we are going to add the Texaphone and sodium sulfate. Texaphone. This is too big for me to measure with, but I'll measure it anyway. So we are going to add 350 grams of Texaphone. Texaphone is also called ungerol, like this. So we need 350 grams. This is our dishwashing liquid. Don't get confused. I'm only doing this because those ones you have to let them pre-soak. So there we go, that's 350. Then you will need sodium sulfate. Just 100 grams. If you're like me, measuring directly, please take your time. If you mess, there's no going back. So I'm going to stir this and then I'm going to add water, just up to 3 liters. So I hope you can see here we have our Texaphone, or what they call ungerol, and some sodium sulfate powder. Sodium sulfate is also available in liquid form. So this is powder. You just need to premix it. It helps loosen the. Let me put it here. It helps to loosen the ungerol because it's naturally a very weak chemical. See what I've done. Then we are going to add some water. Just add water little by little. Don't add too much at once. It's gonna be troublesome starting if you do that. If you have a hand mixer, it really comes very handy at this stage. But I'm assuming we're all done, so here we are. It's such a joy making soap for your own use because you know exactly what goes in there. It's also very cheap. And it's also a project that you can do to make money. You can sell this soap. This soap is very, very good quality. As long as you follow the instructions that I have given you, it really is a good quality soap. Now I miss my mixer. Let me get a hand mixer. This is okay to use. There's nothing wrong with metals as long as you're not using it in any acid solution. What I'm stirring right now is a base, so it'll be very, very fine. Gentle with this, but trust me, no problem. You can name it falls, bubbles, and all. That will still have time to settle. So how do you know that first water is absorbed when it looks like this? Of course mine has a lot of bubbles because I'm using a lot of force. We are here now. So you can see how it looks. Now it's time to add some more liquid. So when you have all the time and you're mixing it gently, it will not look like this. It will be much better. Can you see how it has thickened in volume? Anyway, let me add water. Now, I told you we are going to use a total of 5 liters, but that depends. Sometimes you find that your chemicals are not really from a good quality pack. That happens a lot. So you find that the soap, at the end of making the soap, we are going to dilute it. So don't exceed 4 liters of water. The 5th liter we'll use it towards the end. So can you see the soap has lightened? If you have an electric mixer, go ahead and do it. You can see my metal has not corroded. Don't be scared. At this point, you can use your whisk. So let me show you what we have. And don't worry, what is here is not corrosive. This is a base. If you did a little chemistry, you understand their bases and their acids. When a base and acid combines, there's a chemical reaction that results in soap. Not all acids and bases, the particular ones that we are using That's why it's really important for you to pay attention to the quantities. And I'll give you all these quantities towards the end, so don't panic. In fact, I'll write them in the first comment. So we're done with that. I didn't have to use the entire water. Again, like I said, we are going to use it towards the end to dilute our soap. So we've added caustic, it's here. Texapon is here. What else did I use? I used sodium sulfate. So now the next thing I'm going to add is the caustic solution. So I'm going to leave my whisk at this stage. I'm put it here. Your caustic has to be cold. Cold. This one is cold, so I can add it. Please avoid breathing directly here. Do not breathe here. So you want to mix it very, very well. You can see it has started to thicken. Can you see that? Let me see what you're seeing, by the way. A minute, I see whether you're seeing. Let me push this one. So you can see what we are doing, right? This is our soap. Make sure you stir it very, very well. The next thing we are going to add, and is very important for dishwash, is what makes your dishwashing liquid be able to clean greasy stuff. It's the ingredient that we are about to add right now, and it is called citric acid. So you don't need much, you just need 5 grams. 5 grams goes a long way. And because it's something I use often, I normally put it in this tiny container. Again, please do not inhale this. Do not inhale them. Oh, okay, we are back. Let me get my phone off the sun so it doesn't switch off again. I think that's good. So, if you've been following so far, the liquid dishwashing soap is almost done. Let me show you. So this is how it looks. Don't worry about the bubbles. Once the reaction is complete, it will settle. So the other thing remaining is glycerin. Now you can use any glycerin that you have. Even these are good if you have the commercial, perfect. Glycerin you don't need much, you just need 40 ml. 40 ml of glycerin. This is just because, like I mentioned, the dishwashing liquids, you interact a lot with your hands. So it makes it better for your hands. If you're going to sell this, it's also good to give your customers a good experience. So the only thing remaining is the perfume. The only remaining with the perfume and the color. So if you're making this in bulk, don't perfume and don't color it, because you don't know if customer A prefers the yellow color, the B prefers orange, blue, and you don't know what perfume they prefer. So if I were to make this for sale, like in really large scale, I would not perfume it, I would not color it, I would leave it here. So every time a customer makes an order, I premix the color and the perfume for them as I package for them, for that particular customer, yeah? So this soap as it is right now is ready, but because again, the particular customers that I'm making this for, I know their taste, I'm going to go ahead and add the color. So with this, the important thing you buy is that you buy water-soluble colors, not oil, because you don't have oils here. And then you add a little by a little. Don't add too much. You'll also know if it's water-soluble if you pour it like that and it's actually dissolving. Don't trust your vendor. This might look like too little, but my dear, don't overdo it. So we are going to use our soap to premix everything. Color, perfume, they normally make the soap thinner. Let me actually add perfume while at it. So this is 50 ml of perfume. You will not need all this. Just need a few drops. Not really drops, maybe 10 ml. Just perfume it until you're okay with that level of concentration. So this was 50 ml, I think that's around 10. Let me close it first. A good quality of perfume costs expensive, but you use a little and a little goes a long way. I think this color is too dilute. Let me add some color. No. I'm gonna add a little more soap. Please do not pour this directly onto your soap. It's gonna start getting messy. And even if you don't notice it right away, immediately you put it for the reaction, it will get very dilute and we start seeing lumps and other funny looking things. So there we go. you see the effect of a little color? Let me show you. And you've not even put the whole color. Don't be tempted to use a lot of color. You don't want your soap looking like this. This is not beautiful. Can you see the color? So you keep adding until you think it's enough. No pressure. So from experience, I kind of know where I want to stop. But for you, because assuming this is your first time, please just add a little, then you mix it, then add more. So I was looking for that bright yellow, not the deep orange we had in the bowl. So this one today looks cloudy and all. When it settles, it's going to be very, very beautiful. Today is looking very bubbly. That's okay. The reactions are still taking place. I'm not going to add any more water. It's good the way it is for me. Remember the base water was 5 liters. Then after 5 liters, only after 5 liters towards the end can you add more. I think I've added up to 8. Yeah, that's up to 8 liters. This is how beautiful our soap is looking. Assuming the perfume is not, you don't feel it smelling the way you want it, please don't add perfume directly here. Put it in a bowl, put your soap, premix, then add. That's how it works. If you do it the other way around, even if today you don't notice it, after 2 or 3 days you start notice a separation. If it's not a separation, it will start curdling. So be very careful with your colors and perfumes. Always premix them. And again, because it's a dishwashing soap, don't put too much perfume. The cups will be smelling. Only that's okay. You just need a gentle mild perfume. So our dishwashing liquid soap is done. Let me know what you think in the comments. And this is how it looks. I will show you the final video after all the bubbles and the chemical reaction has taken place. Right now it doesn't look very pretty, and that's normal. So that is done. So now I'm gonna cover it. Now, these are chemicals that we've just initiated the reaction now. Please do not use this soap before 48 hours are over. Give it time for the chemicals to react nicely. And if you can do 72 hours, even better. But no earlier than 48 hours, please, for your own safety and safety of your skin. Let the chemicals do their thing. Give it time. And again, tomorrow you will see this product will be very different from the way it looks today. I hope you enjoyed the lesson. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments. Now we are off to making our liquid soap. The caustic has cooled. The other things have dissolved as well. Let me add some water. I think I will need a... Let me add some water. Now, can you see even before the 48, 72 hours are over, our soap is already soaping. Like you can already see this is soap. And I'm just rinsing the things that are stirring it. You can see this is some very beautiful soap. But please do not touch it with your bare hands. Kindly. Give it up to 48 hours. I was wondering where the water was coming from. When you're soaping, choose a corner of your house maybe. After you're done, you can easily clean it. And there you can also clean up. So now we go back to our liquid soap, the multi-purpose liquid soap, the one that we pre-soaked all these ingredients if you are with us from the beginning. Okay, so now the first thing we need, where did my buckets go? Let me just start with directly. So we need 200 grams of nitro salt. Nitro salt is so much here. Right here, let's see how many grams I have here. Yep, that's 200, and that needs to go in with 14 liters of water. Well, like I said when we started, after you become a regular soaper, you might not need to measure the water. You just need to have an idea, like I need water up to this level. So that's the level amount. But please, I'll give you the recipe. So don't be like me. Now this one you're pre-mixing in the bucket where your soap will stay. The stage that we are in. That was for pre-soaking. Now we are going to mix the soap, and I want my soap to stay in this big bucket. That's why I'm transferring everything to the big bucket. The soap will be around 40-50 liters. So it's important to choose the container that you're not going to move again. It's gonna... much water, the wooden stick will be covered with water. It gets messy. That's why I've reduced the water. But if you have a longer wooden stick, go ahead and put all the water. Again, remember I said please do not breathe. Do not breathe it. Have a mask. Do something. Cannot breathe it. So this is nitrosol. It's a thickening agent, and you can use any thickener of your choice. To that we are going to add our, I feel like you should be looking directly at this. I think so, right? Let me get it closer. Yeah, it's better. That is much better. So we have just started with our liquid multi-purpose soap. This is nitrosol. Nitrosol is also a thickening agent. And don't ask me why it is not thick. Or maybe I'll answer that. Because the chemical reaction has not yet taken place. It's just nitrosol and water. So this is our caustic. And this is going to activate our nitrosol really fast. So you don't want to overmix it. See how far I am away from the caustic? That's how you need. Can you see it is already clear? Yep. Now do not overmix. If you overmix, it's going to be very tough. Can you see it has already started thickening? Please go in quickly with soda ash, unless you have enough muscle. And then after soda ash, we mix it very well. So now we are activating our nitrosol, the thickening agent. The chemicals that we pre-mixed, when you're pouring them, make sure you don't pour whatever is at the bottom, if at all, like that. My supplier is a good one. She really gives me some good chemicals. So again, it's becoming this thick because I reduced the water. Can you see what we are getting? Yeah, it's because I reduced the water. But again, I didn't want it to be a messy affair, so that's why I reduced it. I don't want to breathe directly, that's why I'm looking away. Okay, so this is well mixed. Now you don't want to incorporate bubbles in your liquid soap. They take a longer time, unlike the dishwashing one. So I'm carrying them gently, so as I pour, I can see what is at the bottom. Whatever is not mixed and is at the bottom, don't pour it in your soap. Mama yuko wangoje asikusumbue. Trust me. So this one is very well mixed. Now we are going to mix sodium sulfate, 700 grams. No, I had already finished it. I was wondering how I forgot that. Let me place it. No, not now. Kindly not now. If you notice any dirt at the bottom, please do not pour any dirt. That is why we pre-mixed in advance. I think I'll need a bigger spoon. This flavor I can use my whisk because the acid has already reacted. You've been watching those reactions with me. I noticed the last thing I poured had some lumps, and this one's, by the way, they never go away. At this stage, it's also okay to have some bubbles, but when you're starting, avoid them because they are going to bother you a lot. Unataka nini Jonas? Unakwambia not now. Nani? Some watches on watch. Some watches on watch. Imagine Baba, I'm live and you're giving me stories like this, yeah? So our soap is starting to thicken really fast. I hope you can see that. Yeah. This time he needs a lot of speed and muscle. Let me get myself a better spoon. Soap. back in business. If it's too thick for you, please add a little water. Can you see what has become? Oh, sorry. This is what it is. Jona, please utadunga. This is what it is becoming. And then we have, none of these packets have chemicals. These tanks, some. Yeah, it's too thick until it's breaking my whisk. Anyway, I think I'll deal with that later. Now, what did we put here? So we've put nitroso, caustic soda, sticky paste, sodium sulfate. Yeah. We put SLS. Now we need to put sodium sulfate, 700 grams. It's 2 liters of water. Sodium sulfate. After you become a regular soaper, it's actually cheaper when you buy these things in bulk. It's 700 grams. There we go. So this with 2 liters of water. When you put it, please stir quickly. Normally it cakes. If you don't, it will cake. Don't stir quickly, it's going to cake. Don't pour directly to your soap, always premix. You always premix your powder chemicals. Again, we said if this is too thick for you to handle, just add a little water. So make a better mixing spoon, don't be like me. I normally have a liquid soap mixer in the workshop. But for this one. It was basically for your training. So can you see those solid things at the bottom? Please make sure they mix well. Don't pour them when they're solid. They will never mix. After you pour, you mix. Pour, mix. Unless you have now the mixer, the industrial mixer. That one you pour everything and then you run it. But if you are doing it manually at home, everything you pour, you mix it well. In fact, after pouring sodium sulfate, it becomes a little lighter. It's no longer this difficult to start the music. Don't worry about the bubbles. Once it settles for 48 hours, the bubbles disappear. This with my hands because I know there's no acid here. It's all basic. It's a base, that is. But don't be like me. It's just because I'm a seasoned soaper. If you're new, please wear gloves because you don't know which one is dangerous, which one is not. Can you see the things that you're not putting? Please don't put them in your soap. They never dissolve. If it doesn't dissolve, leave it. So at this point, our soap feels very light. Don't panic. It's part of the chemical reaction. It's going to be very thick in a few after I add the next two ingredients. Let's make sure everything is mixed well. If you have an electric hand mixer, go in with it. Makes your work easier. So let me see what we did and what we have not put. So we put sodium sulfate. So now it's time for the sulfonic acid and ungarol. I like mixing in this small bucket. In your bucket, please avoid the temptation of putting your hands and the raw chemicals. So keep rinsing your hands, but don't rinse your hand if you touch caustic, it will burn you. Use oil to dissolve it. If you touch caustic and then you apply oil, it becomes soap. So we are doing sets up on 900. Let me see how much we have here. Okay, that was around 500. So maybe like 500 more. Six. Oh, I put it in this bucket, but don't actually. Anyway, then I need sodium sulfate. No, not sodium. Sulfonic acid. This is sulfonic acid. Now, if you're first time soaper, don't add all of it. Just add around 80% of the quantity I'm gonna tell you. The other 20% you'll add towards the end. Sulfonic acid is the ingredient in this soaping that determines the pH of your soap. So as you advance in soaping, you'll understand how to measure your pH using pH strips, which are locally available in your chemicals or chemistry shops. But for me, I'll add it all because I know with this ratio, we are good. So if you're first time soaper and you're soaping in bulk, don't add all your sulfonic acid. Let me see what we've not yet added. Sulfonic acid hexapone or the foam booster. We're almost done. We're almost done. I want to get everything out because mine was to the T. Sulfonic acid is a foam booster. It helps your soap to lather well, especially if you're going to use this soap to wash your clothes. It's a good one. Don't skip this. there are those chemicals that you wash off with water. There are those you don't. Because if you wash off with water, it's going to activate the reaction. The ones that you don't are anything that is acidic. Acid plus water equals a gas. Chemistry lesson. Sulfonic acid is a mild acid, so if it touches you, don't panic. As long as you wipe it off, don't wash with water, you'll be fine. Ungarol Texapone is a very difficult thing to work with. This is what it looks like. It's just naturally hard to dissolve. So be gentle, have all the patience with this one. It's gonna test your patience. My whisk is not whisking anymore. Like I said, sulfonic acid is a mild acid, so don't worry about using anything metallic, or even if it touches you, it's very mild. It's mild when it's just sulfonic acid, but when you mix it with other things, it becomes very corrosive. You should add that. So this is our sulfonic acid, and it's getting a little hot. It's Ungarol, or what people call Texapone. You need to do this so it's easier for you to mix in the bucket. Easier the more water you add, but if you add too much water at once, you cannot mix it like this, like manually. For me, this is good, but for you, I advise you to continue mixing with water until it is very loose, that I can work with this. Immediately you pour something, mix first. These two last ingredients, they're going to make it very tough to mix, because they will naturally be thick. A 60-liter bucket. You can already see we are towards 50, and the soap is very, very thick. And when I add the other ingredients, it's gonna be even more thick. So be patient as you mix it. It's exhausting. So I'll actually give you this recipe as a half, not like 60 liters, like 30 liters. It's more manageable for a beginner. I don't want you to give up. This can easily make you a lot of money if you get it right. And you also work on your branding. Find someone who's good at designing brands and labels. They will design labels for you that you stick in your packing containers. So we are adding the foam booster, 500 ml. Our foam booster is Cocomide, but you can use any foam booster that you have. So adding the foam booster, it becomes even thicker. Like I said, if it's too thick for you to handle, add a little water. Not too much. The final pinning down, you do it towards the end, because once you add perfume and color, it will slightly liquidify. Can you see what we're having? I need to pin this down. Because it's like they're not even mixing. Still very thick. Very thick. It's not even moving. Maybe I'm tired. Can you see? Yeah, no water, I'm tired. Let's add the remaining ingredients. Grams of methyl paraben or your preservative of choice. Why do you need preservative? Because you're using water. You added liquid. There we go. Remember what we said when we started? Any solid, you have to premix it well until you cannot see any solids. You can see no more solids. So now this one is ready to add. It's just a preservative, it's not going to alter. So I'm not rushing to mix it. I'm going to dilute further. We are done. So the only thing I'm not putting here is color and perfume because of what I explained when we were doing the liquid dishwasher. Some people like their soap blue, others like it green. I like it green. Some people want this type of perfume, others want this type of perfume. Yeah, so we premix it on a case-by-case basis. Now, if you are adding color and perfume, it's after color and perfume that you're gonna dilute it. But because I'm not adding any of that, hi Mindy, because I'm not adding any color or perfume at this point, I can dilute it until the level I prefer. Not really, I prefer until the level where it makes sense. Hi, Boo. Oh, my little girl is here, so I have to literally remove everything. Stop, mommy, stop. Wapi Jona? Enda mwambie akukujie. Shuka dot, mom. Acha kushika hapo, mom. Usishika. Wewe. Wewe, hapana. Songa. Ita hivyo unakuja mama. Iko sawa? to clean up because my princess is here. I not exactly turn on the rooms from here. Let me go. Let me leave that place to you. Please go. So I have to put everything away because she's here. She's here and she's gonna mess up. This is how you store your chemicals. You store them in an airtight container so they don't get wet. I store mine in what I call my soaping corner. Let me please go away. Please go. Like go away, Mama. That was a quick cleanup. Safer like that. You don't those little hands touching everything. So what I'm doing is diluting. I am diluting my soap. So this soap is ready without the color and the perfume because I put that on a case by case. Some customers want it perfume, the others want it without perfume because they're going to wash sensitive areas like a butchery. They don't want the meat picking up after the perfume. That's why if you're doing this for business like I do, don't put in perfume to the whole batch. Just put perfume every time a customer orders. So all this bubbling that you're seeing, it will go away. In fact, after around 6 hours, you should not be seeing those bubbles. Can you see what's happening to the dishwashing liquid? So the bubbles are starting to settle and the liquid is becoming clear. Even this one will be very clear. It takes a few hours. But again, like I said, it's not ready to use until after a minimum of 48 hours. If you can give it 72, perfect. So that the chemical reactions can stabilize. And then to verify the same, you can also use pH strips. The pH strip should be neutral, not acidic. Yes. Don't touch that, mommy. Please go. Hi, Cuckoo, I'm coming to play with you. Just give me a few. No, baby, no. No, don't do that. Later, Kravia. No, later, broom. So you can see the liquid is clear. That is exactly what becomes after the bubbles disappear or get absorbed. So that is still very thick. These are already 60 liters. So if you like your soap a bit thin, this formula will give you 80 liters. But I like mine thick. I only dilute it for customers who want it diluted. There are customers that really appreciate it so thick. And because we'll not be making soap for every client that has Navitas, Mindy, stop. Just make a soap that can be adjusted according to the customer you're handling. So we'll end our live. Can you see it's very clear? Look at this, it's clear. Can you see my hand? Oh, it was too late. It's very clear, but I feel it's very thick still. Yeah, it's now starting to get lighter. Now, if at some point you cannot be able to stir it, just cover it and leave it. It's gonna settle so you can see through it. Even when you come back after some hours, you can see through it, so you can tell if it's well mixed or not. Right now we're just gambling. Of course, with a little experience, you'll get to know when it's done. But for the first time, just leave it, cover it, let it settle. It will be easier to work with when these bubbles settle. And you cannot avoid these bubbles, my dear. At some point, you'll have to form them. So don't worry about them, they'll get absorbed. In another 6 hours, you'll not see a bubble here. Remember, you're becoming a bad guy. Hello, Kote. Hello, Kote, Mom. Anyway, so that's it for our liquid soap. Can you see? Can you see my hand? Yeah, in fact, if you look here, let me pour some for you so you understand. It should have a glass-like effect, transparent. But that we'll see better tomorrow, as I even show you how to package. Can you see what I'm seeing? Yeah. So, not really tomorrow. I'll show you how to package this soap, how to add color for the client, for your final client, because this is not how you sell it. You've got to learn how to package your soap so they keep coming back. So we'll handle that in another video. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you have any questions, please shoot them down in the comments. Can you see the transparent soap? I'll take another video. probably a shot after a few hours, just to show you what happens. Nenda wapi? Unataka kwenda wapi mama? Yeah? Tunaenda wapi? So our soap is finished. I'm gonna cover it. And wait for the bubbles to settle. After they settle, you can see whether it mixed well or not. For now, don't overthink. Mama, bye. Go. Bye bye. Just go and play. Mommy is finished. Just go and play. Amanda play. Let's go and play, can you? Tampata. So it needs to be in an airtight container. At this stage, you want an anaerobic, which means without oxygen, anaerobic reaction. And this is the dishwashing soap. This is what is happening. Can you see it? So all the bubbles are gonna disappear and it will be a very beautiful soap. I'll wait to show you this one. We're gonna like it. Pick this one up. You don't need to mix, by the way. I just want to show you, if you're joining us late, what became of our dishwashing soap. And it smells amazing. Okay, here we go. Should be even better tomorrow. So I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. you have any questions, let me know in the comments. I have mentioned every ingredient in its quantity, but I'm gonna give you a quick recap in a few. The ingredients for the dishwashing liquid. Make it 5 liters, but we ended up making ours around 8 liters. It can go all the way to 10 liters if you like it really, really dilute. But I like a blend in between. Five grams of citric acid, 100 grams of sodium sulfate, 150 ml foam booster, we used cocamide, 15 grams of baking soda, 10 ml of perfume, 5 grams of a preservative, in our case we used methyl paraben, 40 ml of glycerin, and color, up to your preferred color. The liquid soap for 60 liters, which can also easily be 80 liters, 100 grams of caustic, 350 grams of sodium lauryl sulfate, 300 grams of sodium triphosphate, 300 grams of soda ash. Soda ash is also called Dash Light. Then we use 700 grams of sodium sulfate, 900 grams of Texapon, also known as Ungarol, 1 and a quarter ml of sulfonic acid. That one, you don't have to use it all, it depends with your pH. We also use 200 grams of a thickener. You can use any type. We use nitrosol. Then we used, what else did I forget? Foam booster, 500 ml. Use whatever you have. We used cocamide in my case. Then you use a preservative, any that you have, 40 grams. We used methyl paraben. We used 200 ml of glycerin, 150 ml of fragrance, and the color of your choice. So I hope that recap was satisfactory. So if you're making in small batches, like our liquid dishwashing soap, you can go ahead and add the color in the perfume. If you're making in bulk for sale, don't add the color, don't add the perfume. You add as per the client. If a client wants 5 liter and they want it for maybe washing the toilet, that one you normally use a stronger perfume like pine. If they want 5 liters for washing their butchery, they don't use perfume or a milk collection point. We don't use perfume. If they want you to wash clothes, you use a nice smelling scent like peach. Peach smells really nice.